Hello, welcome back to Frogboy X1 Gaming. I'm Andrew. Today we're talking about Walking Zombie 2. If you like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe. I did get this code from a developer, so now I am going to go ahead and give you my review for it. Walking Zombie 2 is a first-person shooter RPG with a cartoon aesthetic. The gameplay is addicting. The aesthetic of it looks pretty freaking good. Uh, the upgrading and leveling up, all of that seems to be working pretty well. There is a this game does look like this game is a cell phone game that is put on your Xbox. It is Xbox Series X and S enhanced, and it does look like it is running at 4K at 60 frames a second. I haven't noticed any frame drops or anything like that. Um, I'm not gonna lie, this game is fun. This game is actually pretty freaking fun to play. That's why it kind of worries me with the pay to win mechanics that it has in it. Overall, it's a pretty solid experience. It's really not that bad. Um, Gosh, like the gameplay's fun. There's a pretty decent selection of weapons. You do have to buy those weapons. You basically have to buy everything you got. Um, so far, the game has felt pretty fair to me for the most part. Um, it does recycle the same four maps, the same four areas a lot. So you'll keep going back to these things and doing like different stuff there. It has been progressively throwing bigger, harder zombies at me, but it hasn't really been like a problem to take them out. You know, the fast ones are fast, and you can usually get away from put yourself in a position to take them out, while picking off the other ones, you know, nice and slow. It doesn't feel rushed. It doesn't feel super hard. It feels fun. It's addicting. It's got a fast loop. This game has a fast loop. Okay, so you'll go to your base camp. You'll talk to everybody and get missions and everything. You spend like literally less than a minute there, and then boom, you can jump right straight from mission to mission after you've collected all those. You get in there. Those missions take anywhere from 30 seconds to 2 minutes to complete. You go through that whole loop, and then you go back to base camp, turn in all your stuff, collect all your rewards, and then repeat that same loop over again. It's like in and out within 5 minutes. You're boom, 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 doing four missions at a time. It's pretty fun. It's a fast, addicting gameplay loop that keeps you constantly engaged from sitting at base camp to getting your missions to doing your stuff at the store to upgrading your character to purchasing items to going to the missions to taking care of those. It is a fast, addicting gameplay loop. So you'll be able to drop time into this game fairly quickly without really noticing how much time you've been there, because the loop is just so progressive that it keeps you engaged. It's better than any battle pass I've ever seen in my life. It's pretty engaging. So that's what I'm saying. Like, this game keeps you engaged, and it's better than any battle pass I've bought lately. I mean, I could spend $10 on a Call of Duty battle pass and be done with it after a few matches and not go back to it for a month and be like, wait a minute, didn't I buy a battle pass? This game right here, like, I get in there and I'm playing. Thankfully, I've been streaming all of my gameplay so that I can, you know, kind of pull myself away. You know, I look over and, you know, I'm talking to the people and I see the clock and I'm like, okay, I can get away from that, because I usually try to keep those streams at about an hour a piece. So, man, gameplay is really fun. It is actually pretty fun. It's pretty satisfying to take out these zombies. I'm not gonna lie. It's a pretty fun, like the gameplay loop and everything is pretty solid. Like, the core is pretty good. But the store, the in-game store, and the prices are small enough to where it's when Junior comes in, he's like, "Hey, Dad, can I get the $3.99 pack?" And you're like, "No," and he's like, "Oh, gee, Pa, it's only $3.99." And then you feel bad, and you're like, "Okay, I'll give you You can have $3.99. And then he comes back in 20 minutes later. Dad, I ran out of bullets. Can I have $3.99 again? Yeah. It's one of those things to where the price is small enough to where it could potentially nickel and dime you if you've got one of those kids that you just want to keep entertained while you're doing your own thing. Um, I don't know if you're that kind of parent or not. If you're that kind of parent, like maybe you should get the kid a football and go throw it with him. But um, yeah, like it possibly could get tedious. But I have not ran into a part in all my play that's gotten me to a point where I'm like, oh man, I gotta buy credit so I can play. Like, it does have things that like reset after a few hours. Like you'd be able to do like certain missions, like zombie waves or stuff like that. So that's what I'm wondering. I mean, like once you get farther into this game, is it going to start to get so hard that you're going to need to, you know, are the monsters going to become bullet zombies to where or bullet sponges to where you're constantly going through all your ammo? Because I mean, right now it feels like I'm pretty stocked on ammo for the most part. Like I feel pretty good about it, but I have noticed that it doesn't restart you every single match with the same amount, like the same amount of ammo. The ammo that you have once you run out of it. I mean, I am getting the ammo while I'm fighting the zombies and stuff, but I'm saying like once that gets down, like how do I get more? Do I have to buy? You see what I mean? Like it's one of those things to where it potentially has that addictive streak in it to where you might be tempted to want to spend money later down the road to keep going to progress, because from what I can see this game loop could literally be endless. Literally be endless. I have been just going through missions and missions and missions and missions and missions, and according to my thing, I'm only 7% done with it, and I've been through a lot of missions. Like, so I don't necessarily think there's an end to this game. Like, I don't think there's an end to it. You just keep going on missions and you keep going to the same four areas. Well, no, actually, that's not true. I've been to two new areas in the last playthrough, inside a lab and under the sewers. So it is progressing, like starting to open up too. So oh man, I think this game is going to be under $20. It does launch on December 2nd. I don't necessarily think there's any problem with adults buying this game for themselves and playing it and having fun, because it is a pretty fun game. But if you're buying this for your kids, man, that's a different story. That's a different story, man. Because I don't know. I mean, like us, we can manage our ammo and manage the way we're doing things and like really think about, should we focus this into ammo or focus this into this, to like build our character different. Whereas kids, you never know, man. They just might go through all their resources, and then then they're pestering you for money for upgrades. I don't know. It's a tricky one. So if I had to rate this game, I'm going to rate it a 6 because of that store, because of the gameplay loop that potentially has that 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 will potentially drive you to wanting to spend money just to keep playing the game. Other than that, if it didn't have that mechanic in it, dude, this game would probably be a good 8, 7, 7.5, 8 maybe. Like it's pretty fun. Like it is an addicting game. But I will say this: if this game was made in VR, I would highly recommend it any day of the week. This is good material for a really solid VR experience. So if the developers are listening to this or they watch this review, port this thing to Oculus. Put this thing on the Quest. It's definitely a really good game that would really do well VR wise. I would even play that again on the VR. Like this would be good for VR. So if you like this content and you thought this was informative, hit that like, hit that subscribe. I definitely would like to continue to grow, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks for stopping by.